Hello and welcome to the Care It Out Sleep Show, a podcast for tired parents who are searching for a bit more sleep the caring way. I'm your host, Kerry Secker, infant sleep consultant, founder of my unique sleep approach, Care It Out, and your caring sleep supporter. I really hope you'll join me on my mission to get Smalls a settled night's sleep without the tears, training or techniques. I love talking about sleep and I can't wait to share my sleep subjects with you. My approach to getting you more sleep is simple, straightforward, but above all, it's got to make sense and feel best for you. Ready to get more sleep? Then let's get started. No one really technically sleeps right through the night. Sleeping through the night is one of my least favourite sleep slogans, if not the least favourite. And I'm trying really hard to change this conversation around sleep, especially when it comes to infant sleep. We all wake up, including your smalls, regularly throughout the night to do what I call change checks. And this is to make sure we're safe, because when we are sleeping, we're pretty vulnerable because we've switched off and shut down. So we wake pretty regularly during the night to change check, but we might not always remember this. So waking up at night is totally natural and not always something to worry about. It's when your small wakes up and needs some support to stitch their sleep cycle, that's then can cause a sleepless night. Now, if you've been following me for a while, I love a sleep saying, and one of my favourites is your small wake-ups may be causing you a sleepless night, although I'm pretty sure you don't need me to tell you that, but they aren't the cause of their sleepless night. Now, I know that might sound a bit confusing, but please let me explain. Your small might not be giving you this impression, like really not giving you it. But chances are they don't want to be up any more than you do at night time. And when they're awake and not able to stitch their sleep cycles together, unless they're ill or in discomfort, because that's just like us, can cause a disturbance to our sleep, there's usually a biological reason why they're awake. And this comes from what happens before they go to bed, before they wake up. So naps, routine, and how they settle to sleep. So their sleepless nights is a symptom and not the cause. So I hope that makes more sense. Therefore, in my approach, it's all about setting them up to stitch their sleep cycles together when they wake, rather than getting them back to sleep when they do. They're very similar, but two very different things. And lots of parents, probably most, get in touch with me and want to work together because of a sleepless night. And then many are surprised when the focus is not the nights but the day. They can be shocked not to be working on the nights, but on my approach, the aim of the game is to work on why they're waking up at night time in the first place and get everybody back to sleep ASAP at wake-ups. Working on the nights and getting them back to sleep when they wake not only doesn't really stop the wake-ups, because they're not the reason, it also makes it much harder on everyone than it really needs to be. Everyone just gets really super tired, often more tired as the process goes along, and it just makes it much, much harder then to make any changes to your little one's sleep. Now, Care It Out is not a one-size-fits-all solution at all. It's very much tailored to you and your small, and I don't have this massive sleep secret that is the key to getting everybody a settled night's sleep. But the only standard steps on my approach is what happens when they wake up. And again, this can be super surprising to many parents when we're working together, because they come to me wanting to work on a sleepless night, but I don't actually change what's happening at wake-ups a lot, if not at all. My whole theory at night time is if they wake, it's to support your small if they're asking you for support, but respecting their sleep space if they aren't. Now, going to them is never, ever, ever a bad or wrong thing to do at any time, day or night. But going to them if they're not asking for support at night not always can disturb their sleep, prevent them from stitching their sleep cycles together. And on a very basic level, you may actually be doing something that's not needed and getting out of bed unnecessarily. So sometimes your little one is waking, we think they're waking up and we count it as a wake up, but that's not always the case. So here's 2 small sleep suggestions that could be a massive game changer when it comes to your little one's wake-ups at night. Is it natural nocturnal behaviour? That is a mouthful, isn't it? But your small will wake to do their change checks throughout the night, and this can be noisy. Some smalls are really super noisy sleepers, and it's natural for your small to wake, open their eyes, fart, move around, chat, groan, grunt, sleep squeak, sleep shuffle at night time as they wake and transition through their sleep cycles. I call this natural nocturnal behaviour, and whether we like to think about it or not, we all do it all throughout the night. And as I mentioned before, responding to them at night time is never ever a bad or wrong thing to do. But just because they're doing any of these, it doesn't necessarily mean they're asking you for support and that we need to do something. It's completely natural that a noise from them at night sounds loud, drastic, and an immediate call for support. But my biggest sleep suggestion when they wake is breathe, nice big belly breath, and ask yourself, you can do it out loud if you want, what are they trying to communicate to me? And if after that you feel the need to go to your small, your instincts must always trump my suggestions, and I always encourage you to follow your instincts because they keep your small safe. However, if they're doing natural nocturnal and you feel confident to, I suggest that respect their sleep space, and they may just surprise you and stitch their sleep cycle back together. How can I respond rather than react? It's totally natural to react as soon as you're small, aka the sleep siren goes off at night. And if your small is crying, emotionally uneasy, asking you for support, i.e. not doing natural nocturnal behaviour, responding to them and meeting their needs can never be the wrong thing to do. I really hope you're getting that message. But responding to them is preferable to reacting. And I know myself that I have been night nannying back in the day, and as soon as I hear a sleep squeak, I've gone straight into autopilot, rushed in, usually tripping on something in the way, rushed in without thinking and pulled out all the sleep stops to get them back to sleep. So another really useful sleep suggestion is to roll up your responses if they're asking you for support. And just because they're awake doesn't necessarily mean that they're asking to be picked up or they actually need a feed. So here are some simple steps that can help. Here are some simple steps that can help you roll up your responses and give your small the support they need and are asking for. 1, ask yourself, what are they trying to communicate to me? 2, if they're doing natural nocturnal behaviour, try to respect their sleep space and give them that practice and that patience to stitch their sleep cycle together. 3, if they need or are asking you for support, it's never giving in, making a rod for your own back or spoiling them if you meet that need. 4, meet their emotional needs but roll up your responses. So the first step is to go into them calmly and make eye contact if you can. Second step is to reassure them with a sleepy sentence. I recommend keeping this really super simple and saying something like, "You're okay, Bob, it's sleepy time, I'm here, you're safe." Third step, even if it's super quick, I think it's always a very positive practice to try and resettle them back in their cot or bed. So putting a hand on them, having a little cuddle, laying them back down, giving them a little pat, a wiggle, bum drum, tum drum, that can be really useful at just giving them that practice to see whether they're going to go back to sleep in their cot or bed. And then if none of the above are working, you can roll up your response further and pick them up and then see if that works, see if they go back to sleep or get drowsy again. And then if that doesn't work, then you roll up your response again and offer them a feed. Now, these steps may be super quick, but what it's doing is meeting their needs, which is always a priority on my approach. But having that roll-up support is listening to them and giving them what they want, not what we think they need. Thank you so much for listening to me, your host, Kerry Secker, on the Carrot Out Sleep Show. I really hope you found the podcast reassuring, informative, and a little bit fun. If you did, please don't forget to subscribe to the show below, and I'd be so grateful if you could leave me some fabulous feedback. I always love hearing from you, and one lucky listener will win lifetime access to my Bedtime Basics e-course every single month. My next podcast episode will be out in 2 weeks' time, but if you can't wait for more of my sleep shizzle, you can find me over on Instagram at Carrot Out Sleep Consultant. I update my sleep squares and speak sleep there on the daily. Big love and sleep solidarity to you all.